Hit it.
Okay, good morning. Today we're going to be working from the quarter deck out of the book from Moby Dick, okay, by Herman Melville. So today we're going to be covering the part of from the quarter deck, and then on our next class we're going to go to the part of the chase. But today we're focusing on from the quarter deck, okay? So we're going to go with background, and then we're going to break it down to explain it and analyze it, okay? So, go ahead.
Background. Moby Dick is a story of a man's obsession with the dangerous and mysterious white whale that years before had taken off one of his legs. The man, Captain Ahab, guides the Pequod, a whaling ship, and its crew in never-ending chase of the whale, Moby Dick. Among the more important members of the crew are Starbuck, the first mate, Sub, the second mate, Last, the third mate, Queequeg, Tashego, and Dagu, the harpooners, and Ishmael, the young sailor who narrates the story. When the crew sign up aboard the Pequod, they believe the voyage to be a business venture. However, in the following passage, Ahab makes it clear that his real purpose is to seek revenge against Moby Dick.
So right here they're giving you an introduction of the characters, an introduction of the name of the ship, that is the Pequod, name of the first, second, and third mate, that is Starbuck, Stubb, and Flask. Giving the names of the three harpooners. Giving the name of the captain, Captain Ahab. Ishmael is the one narrating the story. And Moby Dick. We also know that this story is going to be driven by a vendetta, vengeance, obsession from Captain Ahab towards Moby Dick. Okay? Go ahead.
From the quarterdeck. One morning shortly after breakfast, Ahab, he was accustomed, climbed to the cabin hallway to the deck. There most sea captains usually walk at that hour as country gentlemen. After the same meal, take a few turns in the garden.
So right there, Captain Ahab is having his morning walk. Every morning he's going to walk around the deck, having his regular, normal walk, daily walk. Okay.
Soon the movement of his ivory leg was heard, from here to there, as he walked his old habitual hikes, upon planks so familiar to the footsteps, and they were marked all over, like geological stones, with the particular mark of his walk.
What's happening with his leg? His walk, he's going to be walking like this. Why? He has an ivory leg. An ivory leg caused by what? By whom?
By Moby Dick.
Moby Dick. Right there, you're starting to get a glimpse from where his vendetta with Moby Dick comes. The floor of the ship of that deck is being dented. As he's walking with the ivory leg, he's putting pressure on that dent, and it's denting the deck, the wood of the deck. That's why you see it that way. Go ahead.
Did you strongly look too upon the raised of scratched eyebrow? There also you will see still stranger footprints, the footprints of his one unsleeping for worrisome thought. But returning where we left off, those dents look deeper, even as nervous step that morning left a deeper mark.
So, Captain Ahab is looking kind of nervous, and his nervousness is being portrayed in the marks of the dents. As he gets more and more nervous, those dents are deeper and are more being able to be seen. Okay, go ahead.
And so full of thought was Ahab that at every uniform turn that he made from one of the ends of the ship to the other, you could almost see that thought turn in him as he turned, and pace in him as he paced. So completely possessing him indeed, that it all but seemed like a mold of every one of his movements. Did you mark him, Flask? Whispered Stubb. The chick that in his pecks of the shell, it'll soon be out.
Okay, very important, this line right here. One of the mates is starting to realize that something's wrong with Captain Ahab. Who's that one? What mate?
Stubb.
Stubb. Stubb is whispering to whom?
Captain
To Flask. about Captain Ahab. And he's going to say one very important line. The chick that's in him pecks the shell. It will soon be out. What do you think he's representing with that? What do you mean with that? For example, if you have like a little bird inside an egg, he is pecking at the egg, and he will soon come out of the egg. Why they're explaining that, referring to Captain Ahab?
His feelings are gonna come out.
His feelings are gonna come out. He is hiding something, and that something will soon come out. His real personality will come out. And that's something that Stubb is noticing. Go ahead.
The hours were on. Ahab now shut up within his cabin, soon pacing the deck with the same intense intolerance of Stubb's purpose in his mind. It drew near the end of the day. Suddenly he came to a stop by the sides of the ship, and inserting his bone leg into a small hole there, and with one hand holding firmly a cloak, he ordered Starbuck to send everyone to the rear of the ship.
That's the order. He's going to give an order to Starbuck to send everyone to deck, send everyone outside. Apparently they're going to have a meeting. Okay? He was in his cabin, gave the order to Starbuck to get everyone out. Go ahead.
Sir, said the mate, amazed at the order rarely given in the ship except in some extraordinary case. Send everybody to the rear of the ship, repeated Ahab. Masthead there, come down. When the entire ship's company were assembled, some of the crew members had a curious and anxious look on their faces.
They have a curious look because it's kind of weird, strange. If something really bad is happening with the ship, with the weather, they're going to call the people out. However, they saw that nothing bad was happening. Then, in this case, if they're asking for them to go out, then probably there's something wrong or bad happening. That's why they have that look in their faces. Go ahead.
As they were watching Captain Ahab, for he looked to not unlike the weather horizon when a storm is coming.
So they're describing the attitude and the look of Ahab to a weather when a storm is coming. Like to bad weather. He doesn't look good.
Ahab, after rapidly glancing over the side of the ship and then darting his eyes among the crew, he started from his standpoint, and as thought not a soul were near him, resumed his heavy turns upon the deck. With bent head and slightly bended hat, he continued to pace, unmindful of the wondering whispering among the men, until Stubb cautiously whispered to Glass that Ahab must have summoned them from there for the purpose of witnessing a walker's feat. But this did not last long.
So Ahab is going to come out of his cabin and come walking on deck, looking at everyone, and then he's going to continue face down, walking through the deck. And you can listen to the murmurs from the crewman. He's like, there's something wrong here. He must have a purpose.
What do you do when you see a whaleman?
And who's speaking now? Ahab. What do you do when you see a whaleman? This is the beginning of his motivational speech towards his crewmen. Motivational speech that is going to give a setup onto softening them up, onto making them get in the same boat and go after Moby Dick. Go ahead.
Sing out for him, was the spontaneous response from the group of voices. Good, cried Ahab, with the wild approval in his tones, observing the strongly animation into which his unexpected question had so magnetically thrown them.
So it's like they're kind of surprised because the voice of Ahab, like how that can motivate us the way he's doing it.
Yeah. And what are we gonna do next, man? Lower tones and after him. And what is the tune?
What is the lower tones, lower away? What is that? When you have the ship and you have the whale boats, lower away is so like to lower the boats to water and go after the whale. That's lower away. Go ahead.
And what is the tune follow, man? A dead whale or a stove boat? More and more strangely and fiercely glad and
You got two things. when you lower away, you either have a dead whale or a sinking boat. One of the two. Go ahead.
More and more strangely and fiercely glad and approving grew the face of the old man at every shout, while the mariners began to gaze curiously at each other, as if marveling how it was that they themselves became so excited at such seemingly purposeless questions.
They're very they're like, how can we be so motivated and excited by these words of Captain Ahab? Words that have great strength and power.
But they were all excited again, as Ahab, now half revolving in the turned gap, with one hand reaching high above cover, and tightly, almost convulsively grasping it, addressed them thus.
He's looking for something in his pocket, and now we're gonna know what is it.
All ye letterheads have before now heard me giving orders about the white whale. Look you, do you see the Spanish ones of gold?
He's showing the coin.
Holding up the broad, bright coin to the sun. It is a $16 piece, man. Do you see this? Mr. Starbucks, hand me yon top maul.
So he's asking Starbucks for a hammer. Remember that the payment method that he's having right there is gold coin. That's the way to persuade his men. Remember that the story is written in 1851. The United States didn't have currency in that time. Currency, the dollar, like the green dollar that we know right now, the one that we use, was created during the American Civil War. Okay? So in that case, gold coins. That's why you have, instead of currency, you're using gold. Because it wasn't until the 1860s that it was created. Go ahead.
Mr. Starbuck, hand me yon top maul. While the mate was getting the hammer, Ahab, without speaking, was slowly rubbing the gold piece against the skirts of his jacket.
He's rubbing the coin. Why do you think he's rubbing the coin? To clean it up, to make it shine more.
As if the hiding its luster and without any using any words, was meanwhile low and humming to himself, producing a sound so strangely muffled and inarticulate that it seemed the mechanical humming of the wheels of his vitality in him.
So this guy is with the coin, showing the coin, and all of a sudden he's going to start humming, like murmuring to himself. Right there you're starting to see that this guy, his mental stability is not very good. Go ahead.
Receiving the top maul from Starbuck, he advanced towards the main pole with the hammer uplifted in one hand, exhibiting the gold with the other, and with high-raised voice exclaiming, "Every one of you raises me a white-headed whale in the wrinkled brow and a crooked jaw. Every one of you raises me in the white-headed whale with 3 holes damaged in the starboard accident. Look they who has raised me that same white whale, he shall have this gold ounce, my boys." Huzzah, huzzah, cried the seamen. As with swinging canvas, they hailed the act of nailing the gold to the mast.
So they were all excited. He said, you give me the whale. You hung me the whale. That's going to be your reward. That coin. Why did Ahab ask for a hammer? They're going to nail the coin to one of the poles. So every morning when they wake up, every time they go out and see the coin shining, they're going to be like, to get that, we're going to get the whale. We need to get the whale so we can get that. That's going to be their motivation, the inspiration. Who are going to be key for getting the whale? Who are the 3 people from the mental for getting the whale besides Ahab? The 3 what?
The 3 main.
Why Tastego? Because he's a what? A harpooner. Therefore, harpooners here are critical. They're critical because they are the ones that are going to throw the harpoon at the whale. And remember, those harpooners, they have to be what? Strong. So they can have the strength to throw the harpoon. Okay? Go ahead.
It's a white whale, I say, resumed Ahab, as he threw down the top maul. A white whale's skin your eyes for him, men. Look sharp over white water. If you see but a bubble, shout it. All this while, Tashtego, Dagu, and Quipet had looked on with even more intense interest and surprise than the rest. And at the mention of the wrinkled brow and crooked jaw, they had started as if each was separated, touched by specific recollection. Captain Ahab said Tashtego, "The white whale must be the same that some call Moby Dick."
That's right there, first time when the whale is named by Tashtego. That's when the whale is called Moby Dick, indeed. Go ahead.
Moby Dick, shouted Ahab, "Do you know the white whale then, Tash? Does he resist a little curious, sir, before he goes down?" said the gay-headed consciously on purpose. "And has he a curious spout too?" said Dago. "Very hairy, even a spermacety and mighty quick, Captain Ahab. And he have 1, 2, 3, oh God, oh good many iron in him hide." "To Captain," cried Quebec, rambling. "All twisty big twist like him, hesitating hard for a word, and screwing his hand round and round through a resailing a bottle like him.
If they're gonna explain that the whale has a lot of iron stuck, that means that the whale has what stuck in her? Harpoons. Why? Because Ahab wasn't the only one probably looking for this whale. There were other seamen or captains looking after the whale. Plus, you had other encounters between Ahab and the whale. So therefore, the whale has harpoons stuck. And those harpoons are going to look like a corkscrew. Like they're like wrinkled around inside. Remember, if you have a bottle of wine, you have a corkscrew that is where you put it in the cork and like twist it so you can take out the cork from the bottle. That's the way that the harpoons are stuck. Go ahead.
Like a whole stalk of grain, a white as a pile of an Nantucket wool after the great annual festival, yes, Tashtego. And he fantails like a split jib in a quall. Death and devils, men, it is Moby Dick you have seen. Moby Dick, Moby Dick.
So right there saying, Moby Dick, that's the one. Moby Dick, you have seen it. Therefore, that's the one that we need to kill. You need to remember that that's the whale that we're looking for. Right?
Captain Ahab, says Starbuck, who with stubborn flask had therefore far been eyeing his superior with increasing surprise, but at last seemed struck with a thought which somewhat explained all the wonder. "Captain Ahab, I have heard of Moby Dick, but it was not Moby Dick that took off your leg."
This is gonna turn. It's gonna snap Captain Ahab. You have a relaxed Ahab, even though he was nervous, he was like motivating his crew. Once he hears this, wasn't Moby Dick wasn't that whale the one that took off your leg? That's gonna get him really pissed off from now on. And who pissed him off? Starbuck. And you know that they have a love and hate relationship in this story. Right?
Who told you that? Cried Ahab, then pausing. "Yes, Starbuck, yes, my truth all round. It was Moby Dick that dismantled me. Moby Dick that brought me to this death. This dead stub I stand on now. Yes, yes." He shouted with a terrific, loud animal moan like that of an overwhelmed moose. "Yes, yes, it was the damn whale that destroyed me. Made a poor pegging fool for me forever and a day." Then tossing both arms with measureless cursing, he shouted out, "Yes, yes, I'll chase him around the Good Hope and round the Horn."
It's like he's screaming, shouting, I'm gonna chase this whale around the ocean, the Pacific Ocean if I have to do. If I have to go to South America, I will go to South America to get this whale. He's not caring about his life or the crewman's life. He's thinking, I want the whale. I want to get revenge for what happened to me.
So he's letting his emotion take over.
Yes. It's like, it is the fault of the whale that I am how I am right now. He is blaming Moby Dick.
"Around hell's flames before I give him up, and that is ye have shipped 4 men to chase the white whale on both sides of land and over all sides of earth, till he gushes black blood and rolls spin out.
Roll spin out is like when you turn like upside down, and you're spitting blood when the whale is dead.
What you say, men? Will you tie hands on it now? I think you do look brave. Yes, yes, shouted the harpooners.
Tie hands could be like, will you do it? Or tie hands will be like tie hands, like make that compromise that we're gonna go after it.
Yes, yes, shouted the harpooners and seamen, running closer to the excited old man. A sharp eye for the white whale, a sharp spear for Moby Dick.
So the harpooners are engaged on this of going after Moby Dick.
God bless you, he seemed half moan and half shout, God bless. You men, steward, go draw from the great measure of alcohol, but that this long face about.
So he's gonna say to the steward, get some rum so we can celebrate. And he is like, God bless. God bless to whom? To whom is he saying God bless? It's not to Starbuck, to the harpooners. Because you are the ones that I want mostly by my side. You're the ones who are going to hunt it down. Alright?
But what's his long face about, Mr. Starbuck? Will you not chase the white whale?
So right here he's like, but with Starbuck, well, you have a long face. You don't want, you're not engaged on going after the whale. And we know that Starbuck is not engaged on this.
Be not game for Moby Dick. I am up for the bent jaw and for the jaws of death too, Captain Ahab. But if it fairly comes in the way of business, we follow. But I came here to hunt whales, not my commander vengeance.
One of the questions that we had in our packet, what was the answer of Starbuck? Hey, I came here for business. Nantucket business of getting oil back to Nantucket. So Nantucket can continue getting profit. By this time, Nantucket was a very powerful area in the United States. Therefore, by getting more oil, it's going to get stronger and stronger. But he is not there for the vengeance of Ahab. Okay? So we already know that Captain Ahab and Starbuck are not agreeing this. Are not agreeing. Starbuck is firm in his decision. Hey, I'm here for business. Even though it is both killing the whale, perfect. But if you have a vendetta, you're going to go after one whale. If we're going to go hunting whales, we can get any of the whales that are around the sea. But he wants to go after one in particular. What?
How many barrels would your vengeance provide you, even if you get it, Captain Ahab? He will not fetch you much in our Nantucket market.
So Starbuck is saying, how many barrels of Nantucket market in the Nantucket market your vengeance is going to get us? None. But Ahab is going to still firm that he will. Because it's like, after I get my vengeance, the quicker I get my vengeance, the quicker we could go and get all the whales and get our oil. So he's kind of getting them until we kill the whale and we continue with our business. That's what we're going to do. All right.
Nantucket market who, but come closer, Starbuck. You requested a little lower layer. If money's to be the measurement, and the accountants have computed their great counting house, the globe, surrounding it with guineas, one of every 3 parts of an inch, then let me tell thee that my vengeance will fetch you a great premium here. He heard his chest whisper Stubb. What's that for? Methinks it rings most vast. But how? Vengeance on a dumb savage, cried Starbuck, that sleepy smoke thee from the blindest instinct, madness.
It's like, yeah, you're dumb going after a whale for vengeance. You're not getting vengeance with a human being. You're getting vengeance with a whale. It's a thing. Okay. Go ahead.
managed to be in something Captain Ahab seems blasphemous. Pay attention, you yet again, the lower layer. All visible objects, man, are but as passport mass. But in each event, in the living act, and undoubted and done dead, there, some unknown but still reasoning things put forth the pattern of its features from behind the rational mask.
Okay, Paula, continue.
If man will strike through the mask. How can the prisoner reach outside except by pushing through the wall? To me, the white whale is that wall, shoved near to me. Sometimes I think there's not beyond, but this enough. He tasks me, he heats me. I see in him outrageous strength, with an incomprehensible, massive power.
So he's saying that the wall, he must break down that wall, and that wall is the whale. To continue on with my life, I need to get through this wall. And that's Moby Dick. So he's blaming, continue to put the blame on the whale. I need to get rid of the whale. That's what's stopping me from continuing on my life. Let's go ahead.
That incomprehensible thing is chiefly what I hate. And be the white whale agent, or be the white whale principal. I will wreak that hate upon him. Talk not to me of blasphemy, man. I would strike the sun if it insulted me.
Look at this guy, this guy is playing with nature, endearing nature. This guy has this ego that I could go through anything of nature. And he's even saying, I will strike the sun if it insulted me. You know, there's no way to striking the sun. But he's making this exaggeration, hyperbole on I will go through anything to get my vengeance.
Or could the sun do that, then I could do the other. Since there is always a sort of fair play exists, jealousy preceding over all creations. But not my master, no. Even that fair play. Who's over me, truth hath no confidence.
And he said, who's over me? There's no one over me. Look at how daring this guy is.
Take off the thin eye, more intolerable than defiance, reflecting an adonish stare. So, you read it, and palest, my heat has melted you to angry glow. But look yourself, Starbuck. What is set in heat, that thing unsets itself? There are men whom forms of words are small and dignified. I meant not to incense anybody. Let it go. Look, see yonder Turkish sheets or spotted sunrise, living, breathing pictures painted by the sun. The unbeliever.
So Starbuck is starting to get mad by the words of Ahab. And you can see it when he says jerky cheeks. He's getting red. Because when you get really mad, you get red. That's what's happening with Starbuck now.
The unbeliever leopards, with unfrecking and adoring things that live and seek and give no reason for the hot life they feed. The crew, man, the crew. Are they not one and all with Ahab in this matter of the whale? See, Stubb, he laughs. See yonder Chilean, he grunts to think of. Stand up amid the general hurricane, thy one toss, safely cannot Starbuck. And what is this? Reckon it. This but to help strike a fin. No wonder speak for Starbuck. What is it more? From this one poor hunt, than the best lamb out of all Nantucket. Surely he will not hang back, when every sailor has had a hold of what's stone. Ah, some streets catch him. I see. The wave lifts. Speak, but speak. Yes, silence. Then that voice began.
So right here, the crew is along with Ahab. They're supporting Ahab. Starbuck, he's being what? Minority here. Go ahead.
Something shot from my large nose. He has inhaled it in his lungs. Starbuck now is mine.
Starbuck now is mine. Eventually, whatever you do, eventually you're gonna have to do what I say. You're a minority, you're segregated, you're alienated, you're isolated, because the whole crew is with me in this. Go ahead.
You cannot fight me now without a fight. God keep me, keep us all, whispers Starbucks softly.
So Starbuck knows that something bad is soon will happen. And he's saying, God keep me, keep us all. He's murmuring. However, Ahab did not hear those murmurs. All right.
But in his joys at the enchanted, unspoken acceptance of me, Ahab did not hear his fearful commands, not even the low laugh from the hold, not even the warning vibration of the winds in the corridor, not even the empty flap of the sails against mast. And for a moment their hearts sank in, for again Starbuck's sad eyes lightened up with the stubbornness of life. The silent laugh died away. The winds blew on. The sails filled out. The ship tugged and rolled as before. At your cautions and warnings, why stay ye not when he comes?
Like the weather is getting bad at the sea, and Starbuck is like, why this bad weather doesn't like remain, and these warnings remain, to see it in some way it's gonna make Ahab get into sense. Bad weather is gonna make it more difficult to get the wheel, and probably that's gonna help Ahab like to settle down and, you know what, let it go. Right.
Why stay ye not when he comes? But rather your predictions and warnings, your shadows, yet not so much predictions from without, as verifications of the former things within. For with little external to hold us back, the innermost necessities in our being, these still drive us on. The measure, cried Ahab, receiving the future, and turning to harpooners, he ordered them to get their weapons. Then ranging them before him near the capstan, with their harpoons in their hands, while these three mates stood at his side with their lances, and the rest of the ship's company formed a circle around the group. He stood for an instant, searchingly watching every man of his crew. But those wild eyes met his, the bloodshot eyes of Harry.
So everyone is like getting together in a circle, and he's looking at every single one, like assessing every single one of you to, you know what, we're all together in this. All right.
Meet the eye of their leader, before he rushes on at their head, and the trail of the vice. But alas, only to fall into the hidden bait of the enemy. Drink and pass, he cried, handing the heavy full container to the nearest seaman. The crew along now drink. Round with it, round, short draughts, long swallows, men. It's hot as Satan's foot.
It's like, for example, they're drinking rum that goes like hot through your throat. Very important. He uses this rum to what? To get them excited, to persuade them, to get them in a way that, you know what, they're going to soften and continue on, not back down. So this ceremony is like to seal the deal.
So, it goes round excellently. It digs you in, digs you out at the serpent's snaking eye. Well done, almost drained. That way it went, this way it comes. Penitent. Here's a hollow. Many seem to years so full of life. It's gulped and gone. Steward, refill. Attempt
A
now.
hollow man is someone empty. Right.
Attend now, my braves. I have assembled you all round this capstan, and your mates handed me with your lances, and you harpooners stand there with your irons, and you, fat mariners, rein me in, that I may in some sort revive the noble custom of my fishermen fathers before me.
They're right there ready with their lances and their harpoons, ready for going after the wheel.
Oh men, you will yet see that. Ha! Boy, come back. Fat pennies can't sooner. Hand it me. Why, not this piece at run full again. done. Let me touch the asses. So saying, with extended arm, he holdeth the three level, shining lances at their crosses, while so doing, suddenly nervously diddled them. Meanwhile, looking closely from starboard to stub, from stub to flash.
So then when they put the lances together, like put the lance up and the other one, they're crossing and put them together. Go ahead.
It seemed as though by some unnamed interior desire who would impatiently have shocked into them the same intense emotion accumulated within the slender jar of his own fascinating life. The three mates trembled before his strong, supportive, and mysterious experience. Stubb and Flask looked aside from him. The honest eye of Starbuck looked downright.
So the Flask and Stuff, they're like looking away from Ahab, and like Starbuck is like, we're gonna get killed. The ones that are more engaged with this are the harpooners. The mates are kind of like reluctant of this, but Starbuck is the most like, I don't want to do this. Stuff and Flask are like, well, we have to do it.
It's not worth it, cried Ahab. But perhaps this well, were that you three but once take the full force impact, then my own electric thing, that had perhaps inspired from out me. By chance, too. It would have dropped you dead. Perhaps you don't need it. Down cut. Enough. Your speaks. I do not choose you three herpers to my three and blood there. Further, three most honorable gentlemen and noblemen.
Look at how good, like you're honorable men, referring to the harpooners. He's treating the harpooners much better than he's treating his mates.
Barbarian harpooners. This slight task. What when the great cook watches the feet of beggars, using his tiara for errors? Oh, my sweet partners, your own condescension that shall bend me to it. I do not order you, you bullets. Cut your seasons and drug holes, your daggers. Silently obeying the order, the three harpooners now placed with the removed iron part of their harpoons, some 3 feet long, held bars up before him. Stab me not with that intense steel. Camp them over. Now you don't know the mug end? Turn up the socket. So. Now, ye cup bearers advance. The irons, take them. Hold them while I go. Right away, slowly going from one opposite to the other. He filled up the harpoon sockets with the intense waters from the pier. Now, three to three, you stand. Hail the lethal cups, give them. You who are now made parties to this lasting mead. Ha! Starbuck. But the deed is done. Before the setting sun now waits to sit upon it. Drink, harpooners, drink and swear.
So it's like drink and swear. That swearing will completely seal their deal. So all that drinking, all that excitement, all that speech, and all that things that are happening so far are leading up for them to swear that they're not going to back up from this.
You men that man that boat whale boats by. Death to Moby Dick. God hunt us all. If we do not hunt Moby Dick to his death.
Either we kill the whale or we're going to die here.
The long, heavy steel cups were lifted into cries and curses against the white whale. The spirits were together drinking down with a buzzing sound. Starbuck became pale and turned and shivered once more, and finally the French Peter went the rounds among the distracted crew. When waving his free hand to them, they all separated.
So Pequod and along with the crew, they're gonna go along the ship, the Pequod, going after Moby Dick. They're gonna sight Moby Dick in the Pacific. Things have happened. One of the boats have been sunk. The ivory leg of Ahab has been broken, but they continue in the chase of the whale. They're gonna continue on in our third day, the chase. Right there, we're gonna discuss the chase of Moby Dick and everything, how it ends up with Ahab, Starbuck, Moby Dick, and the rest. Okay. So basically, that will be it for our first part. We're gonna continue tomorrow with on Friday. I'm sorry, with part number 2. Okay. So I'll be it. Thank you.